Hello, welcome to No Holds Barred Pod. We're on episode 101 now, which is unbelievable. You'll notice if you're watching along that it's just me today. Sal's not feeling too hot, so we're sending her all our best, and hopefully she'll be back with us soon. But I just wanted to crack on and get on with a few bits of news that's happened this week, because even though it's summer holidays for everybody, and we're in parliamentary recess, the news rumbles onwards. So we'll start with, as we often do, reform. Our reform roundup of the week. Farage is still out in Clacton. He's still making 5-6 videos a week. No, he's not. Scratch. Farage is still out in Clacton. He's still making 5 or 6 videos every single day. He's been in Clacton so much recently, they don't know what they're doing over there. They just can't get enough of him. He's it's such a weird thing. It's utterly pointless, utterly vacuous why he's making all this effort to win his own seat back. But I don't know who needs to hear this, but it is important to point out that the Count Bimface just won't win this. He won't win the Clacton by-election, unfortunately. Nigel Farage is sort of sitting on about 73% of the polling. He's going to comfortably win it. He knew as soon as the 3 main parties pulled out that he would win easily, and that's the case. Lots of people have said to me online, don't be so surprised if Bimface wins, but he's not. I mean, much as I'd love for Farage to be trounced by an intergalactic refuse receptacle, and I would, but it's absolutely vital that Nigel Farage returns to Parliament to face the music. He has to be held to account. If he loses in Clacton, which again he won't, but if the sort of hypothetical situation occurred that he did, then he would get away with the parliamentary standards investigation that's on pause at the moment while he's parading about Clacton trying to win his own seat back from himself. So he has to return to Parliament in September and face the music. He's got to have this. He's got to be held to account. He's an MP. There are rules for being an MP. You have to follow them. And Farage has to be held accountable to those rules. So, sure, when he goes back, he'll be found guilty. I'd be incredibly surprised if he's not found guilty of this sort of failing to declare £5 million. When that happens, most likely he'll get a suspension from the House of Commons that will result in a recall petition, they call it, and another by-election will be held in Clacton. At that point, whether he stands again is unclear, but if he does, that's when everyone else needs to step up their game and throw everything at him, take the trash out, as it were. But not yet, not now. He has to go back. He has to get the punishment doled out to him so we know that he's the corrupt liar that we all think he is. That proves it when that happens. So, yeah. So Reform have been doing everything they possibly can to distract from this, £5 million bung, whatever you want to call it. And they've resorted back to their anti-immigration red meat that they often throw out with for their fans. Like, his polling is dreadful. He's just sunk through the floor almost in the polls now. He's the least popular leader of all the major parties, although, it's debatable if Reform are even a major party at this stage, but he's counted in that demographic. He's way behind Kemi Badenoch. He's behind Zach Polanski, and he's way, way, way behind Andy Burnham in the popularity, and Reform are sort of back down to their natural home ground of 23% in the sort of national polls. So what do? They announced a new policy, and I say new in inverted commas, a new policy of yesterday, being Monday, the 3rd of August, saying that they would deploy the Navy in the Channel to turn back small boats and migrants trying to cross the Channel on small boats. the thing is, they've announced this 7 times before in the past. They've announced it since 2023 was the earliest I could find that this was spoken about by Richard Tice when he was in the Brexit Party. And then as Reform, they've announced this policy, I think 4 times in the last year. But unfortunately, we have our supplicant, sycophantic media who, Sky News particularly last night put out a little article about it. Said they called Reform's policy daring. Daring. They treat this like a new policy. It's just nuts. But we'll come back to that in a minute. But the policy itself is just ridiculous. They think by calling it a humanitarian mission, that's what's making a difference this time. They've said that they can get around all the regulations and laws because it's a humanitarian mission by taking people back to France and dropping them on the beach. Because the French government have said, no, you can't do this. It's, illegal. Effectively, they're breaking maritime law, UK law, French law, EU law, international law. They can't do it. But they think humanitarian, adding the word humanitarian mission into this 7th iteration of this policy seems to get them around that, which obviously, of course, it just doesn't. That's nonsense. So, yeah, we were treated to Richard Tyson. No, sorry, scratch that. We were treated to Zaya Youssef and Layla Cunningham all day yesterday, shouting over every presenter that was trying to point out that this was just such a bullshit policy. But, they're like bulldogs, those two, Cunningham and Youssef. They're sent out to berate and just get angry and shout over anyone who dares challenge them. They don't have an answer for any question that they're asked ever. So they just give it both barrels at whoever's asking the questions. Just as a little sidebar, when they were doing the press conference yesterday morning, first one in a very long time, so Nigel Farage sat next to Zaya Youssef doing the press conference about this policy, again, inverted commas. They had, Farage invited questions from some journalists. He got a bit stroppy about the BBC talking about his £5 million. He said he didn't want to talk about the money. So, they didn't. That's it. Textbook Farage, brush it under the carpet, and nobody followed up on it. But anyway, he invited a question from Raheem Kassam, who is from, I believe they call it the National Pulse now. Raheem Kassam asked a plant question to Nigel Farage about the mainstream media and how he's been treated. For those that don't know, Raheem Kassam has been working for Nigel Farage since way back in the UKIP days. He was a UKIP advisor, a treasurer, maybe even at one point, if my memory serves, but he was certainly an advisor at UKIP, and he's been working for Nigel Farage since then. Like, we're looking back at 2009, maybe onwards. Very, very long time Raheem Kassam's been working for him. So, this is like Trump 101. Have a press conference and put your own journalists in to ask questions. This is what Trump does in the White House now. He invites people like Tim Pool, who are like absolutely sucking up him to sit in and ask what's supposed to be credible questions from journalists. So Farage just took another step towards his idol Trump by sticking in a plant journalist in the press conference yesterday. It's shocking. Oh, and Kassam was also part of the Steve Bannon school. He worked as London editor for Breitbart under Steve Bannon. So and also was mentioned in the Epstein files. So yeah, Raheem Kassam is a questionable character at the best of times. So, but what else have we got for reform this week? Richard Tice is under investigation now as well from the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards, Daniel Greenberg. He is, well, they haven't announced what it's for because by, the sort of regulations and rules, the Commissioner doesn't announce what they're investigating until it's finished. So I'm going to read a couple of bits out of The Guardian for this because it's interesting. But what The Guardian said was, it's as a matter of procedure, the watchdog never publicly releases details of an allegation being investigated until it has published its conclusion. Fair enough. That's fine. Normal stuff. Richard Tice MP for Boston and Skegness claimed on X that the inquiry related to a complaint over whether I should have referenced my register of interests at the start of a debate on the UK democracy and Israeli influence. Interesting. Without naming the group he was referring to, he wrote on X, contrary to garbage in the media, Standards Commissioner is considering a complaint by an anti-Semitic and anti-Israel lobby group over whether I should reference my register of interests at the start of a debate on the UK democracy and Labour and Israeli influence. So I will find out for end of the week reform roundup exactly more what that was about. But it never rains, but it pours. Labour's party spokesperson said, the reform sleaze scandals continue to pile up. Richard Tice is now under investigation by the Standards Commissioner on top of his firm avoiding paying £600,000 in tax. This means that both Reform's leader and deputy leader now have Standards investigations hanging over them. Yeah. They went on to say, with police probes, Nigel Farage's secret £5 million gift and reports of funding from a convicted fraudster, it's clear Reform think the rules just don't apply to them. It's true though, isn't it? That's absolutely on the money from Labour. Something we've been talking about for a long time, I've been writing about for a long time. They just don't think that they need to abide by any rules. The whole £5 million thing's a scandal because Farage thought, even if he got found out, that he could just blag it because he's blagged everything else up until now. So yeah, so Tice is in a big heap of trouble as well. But, here's one thing I forgot to mention about the French kind of Navy situation that they were trying to get around yesterday. Late last night, Sarah Potchin took to X to basically berate the French's war record. She said they had a shocker in World War II, to which has been community noted. And it just shows you how Reform UK as a party treat diplomacy. They just attack. They've got no method of reasoning, no pragmatism. They can't see things from anybody's point of view apart from their own. So, they're never going to be in power. They're never going to be near power. They keep saying these things till the cows come home. But it just demonstrates, I think, quite clearly when one of their MPs is actively slagging off France over their war dead, effectively, and their war effort. It's just shocking. So I think that's probably enough for Reform Roundup for the beginning of the week. Yeah, that'll cover it, I think. You'll have noticed if you follow us on YouTube, and if you don't, please do. We're starting to do things slightly differently, and we're doing sort of one longer episode per week, which this will be, which will go out on all the podcast apps and on YouTube. But then on YouTube, we'll be doing smaller single topic issue videos, which go out sporadically throughout the week when they come up and when we record them. We put one out so far last week about last week's Reform Roundup was a single video, and we did Sal talk to us about Andy Burnham sort of rolling over the welfare cuts that Keir Starmer wanted to make in order to fund defence. So go and have a look at our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe, follow button, whatever it is on YouTube. I can't remember now. And you'll be notified when we put up our little videos. They're only sort of 10 minutes long. We think maybe one big episode a week is enough, and then we'll just update as we go with shorter videos on YouTube. So yeah, check that out. Right, we'll move on. Before we talk about Burnham, I just wanted, that sort of leads into Andy Burnham, but today BP announced record profits, oil and gas. They basically more than doubled their profits from last year. They're up $5.7 billion as of today. It's a direct result of the Iranian war. Now, Keir Starmer's government and now Andy Burnham's government, I heard Miata Fambula yesterday saying on LBC that they would be keeping a watchful eye on profiteering at petrol stations. But our local BP, which is not far from here in Stroud, is selling diesel at more than 55p more now than it was before the 55p a litre more than the start of the Iran war. Now, I'm going to just do a live check as I'm speaking to you, but the price of oil has been going up and down like a yo-yo, as I think most people are aware, because every time Trump announces something, it goes up or down depending on what he announces. But Brent crude oil is right now as 79p, $79 a barrel, sorry, which is up 9.7% on the month, but on the year, and then 16% on the year. But it is down from the peak, which was over nearly $120 a barrel. So every time Trump says he's going to have a ceasefire, it goes down. Every time he says he's going to bomb Iran, it goes up. But our petrol companies are rampantly profiteering. BP announcing that they've doubled their profits from last year up to $5.7 billion is nuts. And Andy Burnham's government, as well as the previous Keir Starmer government, desperately scrabbling around down the back of the sofa, or the welfare sofa rather, to try and plug holes in defence and fund various projects they want to do. Why are they not taxing these people? Why are they not going after the oil and gas giants with the windfall tax? It doesn't make any sense to me. I know they're lobbied up to the hilt by the oil and gas lobbies, of course, but any government should be able to look at this and go, this is wrong. This is wrong. Our public, members of the public are paying so much more for their fuel, and BP are raking it in, like stuffing money hand over fist into their bank accounts. It's profiteering. And when the government cabinet minister, Secretary of State, actually, Miata Fambula, yesterday said that they would keep a watchful eye on it, that's not good enough. It's just not. It really isn't. Something needs to be done about it. Like, they say they're keeping a watchful eye, but actually the government have turned around, they're looking away, and they've got their fingers in their ears. Now, we're not listening, we're not watching. Whilst we're being ripped off left, right, and centre. And that's exactly what's happening. We're being ripped off by the oil and gas giants. Sort it out, Andy Burnham. That's something you need to deal with as a matter of urgency. Right. Andy Burnham. There's not much really, obviously, to say about Labour this week. We're in recess. Parliament doesn't come back for another about 6 weeks from now, because we got recess and we got conference season. So, we're looking end of September. John Healey announced his budget, I think the 28th of October, something along those lines. End of October anyway. So they've given themselves some time to work on that, because, he's going to have to magic up some money from somewhere. I don't know where he's going to get it from, but look at the oil and gas giants. But anyway, he won't. On Sunday, so there's very little really to update you on, apart from Burnham went on holiday today, apparently. He had the right-wing press in apoplexy because he dared to go on holiday. There's not really anything going on. Why wouldn't he go on holiday at the beginning of the break? It makes sense. All the important stuff needs to happen as and when the sort of Parliament starts to come back in, and I'm sure he's going to be busy working on stuff for the rest of the summer. So yeah. Something I noticed on Sunday. What's his name? Tom Skinner of. I don't want to libel myself, but I think he was accused of beating his wife. He certainly cheated on her. And he's a friend of JD Vance and a big MAGA fanatic. I put a post on my Twitter. You can find it. It's a couple of pictures of Skinner, one of him in a MAGA hat, Make America Great Again, and one of him when he was invited to a barbecue in the Cotswolds that JD Vance was holding when he was in the UK last summer. Not exactly. He's a Reform member, I believe, and so I think he's even a Reform spokesman as well now, or he was at one point, certainly. He put out a tweet, very long tweet, about, I've got an idea for the Prime Minister about everyone is given a garden grow kit, for an allotment or for your garden to start growing your own fruit and veg. Okay, fine, great. But Andy Burnham quote tweeted them, and he said, "Yeah, that's a great idea, Tom," and put a thumbs up. Now, 5 years ago, people weren't quite as obsessed by social media. The news wasn't driven as much by social media as it is now. But we're in a position now where social media, likes, shares, anything, it makes headline news. Let's look at, see Zach Polanski last week. For example, he inadvertently shared a picture on his Instagram of a man wearing a Make Plans for Nigel t-shirt with a cartoon guillotine on it. And it was a set of photos that he'd been given by a photographer. He liked them, shared it. He didn't even think about it. He said, it was a mistake. But that's how the news is driven by social media. It was like a share on Instagram. So Andy Burnham, I believe, made a bit of a faux pas, a bit of a comms disaster, actually, by quote tweeting and getting involved with Thomas Skinner online, because Thomas Skinner's right, very right, far right even, I might go so far as saying. And as I said, I think he was a Reform UK spokesman. Now, I'm all for cooperative working, but the guy's not, I don't believe someone that Andy Burnham should be getting involved with as a Labour leader. But, maybe if you think it's fine, let me know in the comments or whatever, or, hit me up on X, because I just don't think that's something that Andy Burnham should be doing, is sort of promoting Thomas Skinner and his ideas. I actually went a bit mad on my Twitter. I got nearly a million views on that one tweet a couple of days ago. Yesterday it was. But yeah, I mean, maybe the idea was fine, but again, I just think the comms and the look, now that we're just so driven by social media and the news is so driven by social media, is that Polanski's dragged on Newsnight to account for himself for sharing something so blatantly tongue-in-cheek as what he did last week. I don't think this is great optics. That's all really for Burnham. Yeah, so what else happened? Not a lot. As I said, he's gone away. A lot of the Labour MPs are away on holiday. A lot of normal MPs are on holiday as well. Everyone, apart from Farage, who's campaigning for his own seat that he gave up in Clacton still, which is just still bizarre to me. But anyway, yeah, Kemi Badenoch today, 4th of August, Tuesday, was out this morning on wearing a police outfit. She'd joined a drugs raid or something this morning, performatively pointing out that she was still at work. It was obviously to counter the news that Andy Burnham had gone on holiday. Look, I'm still here. Fine, she's still there. She's still getting the same amount of zero attention that she has for the last year. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for today's mini update. What are we on? 25 minutes. Okay, that's not bad for me to be talking to myself. I think that's enough for you guys to listen to. I do not want to bore the shit out of you, to be frank. So, a couple of things just to finish up. Go and have a look at our website, noholdsbarredpod.com. It's got everything you need to know about the pod. It's got every episode's got its own page on the website now. So you can check out the videos, clips, links to the different apps, wherever you want to go and watch us or listen to us. It's all on the website. And we've got merch. I've added some new trendy oversized t-shirts that I designed this week, which I shall be wearing hopefully on the next episode, if it's delivered in time, just to show you all. And yeah, what else? Yeah, we've got patreon.com/noholdsbarredpod, and that gives you access to early episodes a day earlier than everyone else. It gives you access to our Discord chat community, which is pretty cool. And a load of other stuff, and we got like loads of new stuff coming up for our Patreons in the autumn as well, including discounts on merch and things like that. And two other things. I'm just plugging this now. This is like plug zone. I'm working on a couple of other projects. One is called News Agency. It's an app which will launch in first week in September. We've got a date now. And I'm working with a couple of really good guys on this. And it will be a daily briefing of news. And the guys have created sort of a spectacular amount of tech behind the scenes using AI that they've proprietary algorithm that they've developed to sort out millions of news sources every day, deliver it into 5 or 6 news briefing, a daily briefing it's called, every day, 5 or 6 stories. But what we're doing is stripping out the media bias. That's the whole point of it, is to cluster all this news stories from every different angle, right, left, middle, newspapers and what have you, websites. So we're taking stuff from the Mail, the Express, but GB News, the BBC, the Guardian, the Economist, the FT, every single sign of spectrum. And then the AI works its magic, which I will explain to you when it launches a bit more in detail, and strips out the bias and provides us with the top news stories of the day in a short, digestible format that will take you 6 minutes to read every day to get the top news stories, but without the spin. And it's called News Agency. You can go and sign up now to our daily briefing, and it comes to your inbox currently as an email. And if you want to check it out ahead of the app launch, it's news-agency.org. But we're going to launch the app in the first week in September, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be good. Check it out. And the second thing is I'm writing a book currently. So I don't know how much I want to say about this at the moment, but it's basically called 2 Years. Working title is 2 Years, The Rise and Fall of Reform UK. So I think you can work out from there what it's going to be about. I'm 5 chapters in. I'm quite excited about it. I think it's going quite well. And that'll be available, I'm hoping, by September, if I've got enough time. If not, it'll be end of September, beginning of October. That book will be ready to go. That's enough wittering for me for today. Thanks for listening. Apologies again that Sal's not gracing us with her presence, but she's not feeling too hot. So send her all your best wishes and send her all your love. Send her some messages on Twitter or what have you, Blue Sky or whatever. Just say, I hope you're feeling better soon. And then fingers crossed she'll be back with us. Oh, and one more bit of admin I meant to say. We are, hopefully both of us, but if not me, we'll be chatting to John Stevens from the Rejoin EU party. We're going to interview him on Friday this week. So in 3 days' time, I'll be chatting to John Stevens from the Rejoin EU party. He's standing against Nigel Farage and Clapton, and I believe the only serious candidate to stand against him. He's working really hard on the ground in Clapton. But let's chat to John on Friday, and we'll be back later in the week with some more updates. Thank you for listening to me droning on. I hope it's been informative and helpful. You know where I am online to find me. So, that'll do for now. Bye.